On today's show, we'll be discussing our game, Week 8, Sunday, 1 o'clock p.m., against a division rival that we owe revenge. Not only that, our injury report isn't looking too good. And welcome back to the big guy. Jerry, keep your name out of your mouth. We have to definitely talk about what he said. And the trade line is heating up. Let's take a peek. All that and more today on our way to victory.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
You ready? Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yeah. Let's go. I'm a winner, not a sinner. So you know I hold it down. Got the winner in my locker. Gonna get a touchdown. Make a play, make it rain. Get the win, celebrate. At the end of the day, we're the best. Anyway, I'm a winner, not a sinner. So you know I hold it down. Got the winner in my locker. Gonna get a touchdown. Make a play, make it rain. Get the win, celebrate. At the end of the day, we're the best.
What's good? What's good? It's Friday. Good afternoon. We back at it again. I'm your host. We got a couple things to talk about today. Philadelphia Eagles gearing up for a game Sunday against them New York Giants. Jalen, you going to get your lick back? Check it out. The Giants from that last game, they whooped us 34-17. Came out smacked. Punched us in the face. Couldn't do nothing back. Now, we were without some people in that game. Jalen Carter wasn't playing on the defense, so that was already a little strain on the line. We already lost some defensive ends by that game. And then Quinyon Mitchell might have had a couple of plays. He was out. No more Quinyon Mitchell. So we was running with Keely Ringo and Jacurian Bennett. I think that was the game he was in. Then he got hurt. And then we were running with Adoree and Ringo. So that game was it was bad. That's the game that we needed the offense to be able to take care of the game for the defense. Put the defense on their back and ride out, and the offense couldn't get it done. So also the game with Saquon Barkley ran for 54 yards in the first half, and in the second half, he only got 4 yards. I might have that a little misconstrued, but that's pretty much what it was. So, yeah, we own one. Now, we're getting most of our people back. Defense is definitely going to be stronger this Sunday. The offense, however, is going to be the same offense we had out there. The difference is, if you learn anything out of the last game, because this is only from 2 weeks ago, learn anything from the last game, they'll throw the ball a little bit more. Also, we'll be able to get Saquon Barkley running, right? So I'm going for a win. I'm going for a win. You already know what it is. But let's check out the injury concerns, because there's some injuries going on. A.J. Brown still dealing with a hamstring. He has not practiced at all this week. I was trying to wait to see if he practiced today at all, but it's still a little bit early before the news of the injury report actually comes out. So A.J. Brown did not practice Thursday, along with 4 other people. Azeez Ojulari, he didn't practice due to a hamstring. Dory Jackson didn't practice due to a concussion. We seen that in that last game. I know he wasn't playing this week, though. I could tell by just how it went down. You know, the concussion protocol, you got past everything. And I knew that wasn't happening. And then Cam Jurgens, which is also a major concern, a knee. He has a knee issue. And hopefully he'll be able to play, because your backups after that, I mean, there's only really 2 ways you could go with it. Is Landon Dickerson back at center, which he's dealing with injuries. And I forgot our backup center name. Forgive me. But that's your next option, right? Now, as far as A.J. Brown's concerned, he has a history with them hamstrings. I don't know if it was last year or the year before that, but normally when it goes like this and he hasn't practiced all week, 9 times out of the 10, he will not be playing on Sunday. Hopefully, we'll hear some better news, and they were just trying to be a little bit more careful with it. But a lot of times when it comes down to this, they're not playing. You know what I mean? So we're not with A.J. Brown. We still got Devonta Smith. And guess who's back in the 21-day window? Darius Cooper. Darius Cooper, if you haven't heard, he's back, but I'm sure he's not playing Sunday. Dallas Goedert is back. Had a little ankle injury, limited practice on Wednesday, but he was a full participant on Thursday. Also, Jacorian Bennett is back. So when we talk about the defense, especially with Adoree Jackson not playing, because I'm pretty sure he's not playing, Jacorian Bennett will be next man to suit up as cornerback number 2 before Keely Ringo. Positive about that. Quinyon Mitchell one side, Jacorian Bennett another. That changes the dynamic of the games, because also in that New York Giants game, you know what I'm saying, Jackson Dart was able to run around and not get caught behind the line of scrimmage. You got Jalen Carter back to help with that process. And not only that, guess who else is back, which I'm sure you know. Brandon Graham. 37-year-old Brandon Graham got a 1-year deal for $4.9 million. $4.9 million. Now, most people are saying he's not going to change, like tip the entire levels of the actual gameplay from the Philadelphia Eagles, but Philadelphia Eagles defense is doing good. It's the offense that's trying to find their identity. But defensively, he's going to change a little bit, because you know what I've heard already? The energy inside the building has already changed. And you kind of need that energy. You know what I mean? People feed off things. So you don't know what changes. Because sometimes you have the right people in there. You just don't have a person to help either push it out of them. And that's not always coaches. Sometimes it's that leader in the house that helps push those other individuals to do better. Some people look up to other people, and it pushes them to do better when they have them with them. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's going to be do good for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's going to do good. Plus, that's our trash talker. Anyway, Vic Fangio this week had to say, you know, as far as how much time he'll play this Sunday, and well, pretty much this Sunday, is his football shape, which he said he's been already working out and everything like that. He still looked good. He still looked like he was in shape. And then his ready for contact. Now, that's questionable as well. You know what I mean? It takes a couple games. That's why preseason is major for players, because normally if you play in preseason, that ready for contact, you're getting hit. That's the game hit. It ain't just coming from practice. You're full pad, all hits. Your body has to acclimate to that. You know what I mean? So glad he's back in the building. All right, and this Sunday we're taking it back. Way back. Putting on them Kelly Green again. And you know, every time we put those Kelly Green on, something special happens, which lines up perfectly for New York. The last time we had the Kelly Green on, I believe Saquon Barkley decided to do a spin. Hurdle backwards. Spin. Maybe he could get a little bit of that old love from last year. Maybe that's all they need. A little bit of that old remembrance. Old warrior coming back with the new. Taking you back to the days of Randall Cunningham. Back to the days of Reggie White. You know what I mean? So hopefully that works out. That would be perfect. Sport your Kelly Green. If you got some good Kelly Green jerseys or going to the game, put some pictures down below in the comments. Other than that, I do have something else to talk about. Jerry Jones. Now, I was going to talk about something else. Micah Parsons said something a couple weeks ago, but I left that one alone. I'm coming to Jerry Jones now, because we're back at the tush push subject. Right? This week, might have been 2 days ago, Jerry Jones says, in my view, addressing the tush push, that he believes it will be addressed again. Now, I'm tired of actually talking about the tush push, because it just is what it is. I know everybody's going to hate if you can't do nothing to it, but whatever. But being that I heard that he's addressing it, because he has some power, and I don't know what y'all think about it, but he has some power when it comes to say of the NFL, one of the richest franchise inside the entire league. So if he has something to say about it, I know it's coming back. Because if it's not brought up by Green Bay, like the commissioner asked, if it's not brought up by Green Bay, then it's going to be brought up by the Dallas Cowboys. If it ain't brought up by the Dallas Cowboys, brought up by something. And he ain't just saying it just to say it. He's saying it because he already knows something. So Philadelphia Eagle fans, I know y'all might have enjoyed the tush push. And I'm not saying that they might totally get rid of it this year coming up, but I know it's coming. I know it's coming. You can watch how they've been trying to address the fact, or teams are trying to act like it's a big complaining of them jumping off sides. It's coming back. And I don't even think it matters if we win the Super Bowl or not. I don't think it matters if we was even go to playoffs or not. Just the fact that they want to get rid of that play, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully they lose out again and not enough owners are willing to say, yes, I would love for this play to be done. But I'm letting you know, hate is real in the world. Hate is, and that has no exception. Also, just to let you know, the trade rumors are heating up. Now, I said a name specifically, Jermaine Johnson. I said him earlier, maybe about 2 weeks ago. His name is starting to show a little bit more smoke. A little bit more smoke. And I don't know if it's because the Jets just keep losing. Obviously, whenever a team loses, everybody thinks they're just going to fire sale, like even with the Miami Dolphins. But with the Jets, they're saying that Jermaine Johnson just might wind up getting traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, he was a first-round pick of 2022. He's $13.4 million in 2026. That's how much he'll be making. And he also has a fifth-year option, which for me, that tells me that the Jets aren't going to get rid of him because he's a good defensive end, and it's hard to find good defensive ends, and they have them for cheap. So why get rid of them? But if there is anybody to try to go for, that would be appealing to Howie Roseman. One specifically for the fact of his age and that contract is friendly. All right. Pick him up, and if he's great, then they got to figure out some moves as far as how much they're willing to pay. Or if he's great, you just take him for the next year, and you take him for the rest of this year, take him for 2026, and then pick up the fifth-year option if it's feasible. And if not, he could actually move on to another team. All parties work in favor, right? But with all that said, I didn't hear anything too much about a cornerback, and I think that's one of the major areas that we need to be trading for. And it's not as much smoke as I'm hearing about the defensive end, even with Brandon Graham coming back. So we'll keep an eye on that, check it out, and see what happens. But I know Howie's getting busy, and it's about 1 week left. So whoever's going to be, we'll find out soon. And I believe that's the week that we actually have a bye, which is perfect for the injuries that we were just stating. Also, Brian Burns, just to go back to that real quick. Brian Burns of the New York Giants was out injured yesterday. So keep an eye on that as well, because that's one of their main defensive rushers. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's not too much else to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles yet, man, because Sunday is when we gearing up. Hopefully the offense will be called the right way. I don't want to get on Kevin Patello this week. Hopefully execution is perfect, and hopefully they pass that ball like I know they can. The spread for the game this week is 7.5 point favorites for the Philadelphia Eagles. Money line, the Giants are plus 320 and the Eagles are minus 375. What I am watching, though, and please bet responsibly, Saquon Barkley. I think this is the game where Saquon Barkley actually tops 100 yards. I actually think they'll be able to top 100 yards, because if he ran 54 yards in the first half of the game against the New York Giants last time, I believe this time, taking care of the ball and actually doing everything, coming out in that second half, he'll top 100 yards. This might be the best game he'll have all year. I'm thinking 100 yards, 1 touchdown. And as far as betting purposes, over 100, taking Saquon over 100, taking Saquon with a touchdown, and I'm also taking the money line on the Eagles. That's an obvious, right? I stay away from them points a lot of times, 7.5 points. But I mean, heck, we can wind up blowing them out. New York played Denver well last week, but in that fourth quarter, Denver came back, beat them by 1 point, 33-32. So I don't know. I just know the Eagles are going to win. Eagles going to win. Saquon over 100 plus 1 touchdown. Anyway, keep checking out all the rest of the content. You know what I mean? If you have not become a subscriber yet, please like, subscribe, comment. I like to hear back from you, and I make sure I also get to you as well. I will make sure that everything in my channel NFL will be NFL, basketball will be basketball. And once I start doing my motivational stuff, it will be coming out as Will See You Elite. So this way you know the difference between each. Some of you might only want to be here for football, some basketball. For everybody, I think everybody should take a peek at the motivation at least one time, because everybody can use that every day, even myself. So other than that, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy this Friday. I am coming out with some 76ers content probably later today or tomorrow because they have a game coming up. And that's all I have. Y'all have a good one.